Hello students, I am your new pharmacology teacher, Dr. Ansha Sharma. Today I will be teaching you management of a snake bite. It is a very important topic in your practical exams and also short notes. It is frequently asked under your therapeutic problems and in different short notes in pharmacology or other subjects. More than that, it is a must to know topic as an intern or a doctor because it is one of the most common cases which is presented to you in your emergency or medicine department and needs urgent evaluation and management. Before getting into the management of a snake bite, I would like to give you a short briefing regarding the types of snakes and their signs and symptoms. As we all know, there are two types of snakes, poisonous snakes and non poisonous snakes. In your lifetime, the number of cases which you will see of a snake bite, 70% out of those will be due to non poisonous snakes. Rest 30% will be due to poisonous snakes. In case of a poisonous snake bite or a non poisonous snake bite, how will you understand which is what? To get to know whether it is a poisonous snake bite or a non poisonous snake bite, you need to know the signs and symptoms seen in case of a poisonous snake bite. What are they? They are the things which you will see when you examine the bite area in case of a poisonous snake bite are there will be huge swelling in a very short duration of time. There will be bleeding from the sides, continuous bleeding, no clotting. There will be redness, there will be inflammation, there will be local necrosis of the area or blister formations. If you see these signs, you can be assured that it is a poisonous snake bite. After that, how will you proceed? In case of a poisonous snake bite also, there are of three types. It can be a neurotoxic snake bite or a hematotoxic snake bite or a myotoxic snake bite. In case of neurotoxic snake bite, what are the things you can see? You will see patient complaining of, patient will not complain, but you can see in the patient, there will be ptosis, that is drooping of the upper eyelids, or there will be diplopia, patient complains of double vision, or dysphagia, patient complaining of pain or difficulty in swallowing, or dyspnea, patient complains of respiratory distress, tachypnea, etc. Most serious complication in a neurotoxic snake bite which can lead to death is skeletal muscle paralysis. It can lead to respiratory failure because the intercostal and subcostal muscles are paralyzed. In case of a myotoxic snake bite, you will see signs of rhabdomyolysis, muscle ache, or muscle spasm. In case of a hematotoxic snake bite, you will see bleeding through the openings of the body or orifices, such as patient will complain of hematuria, that is blood in the urine, or hematemesis, that is blood stained vomitus, or epistaxis, blood coming out through the nose. After knowing all these signs and symptoms of a snake bite, let's proceed in the management of a snake bite. How will you be given this problem? It will be given to you in the form of a question such as a 6-year-old boy while playing in a village ground was bitten by a snake. The snake was identified as a poisonous one. How will you manage the case? This is the therapeutic problem which is given to you. What will you do? How will you deal with it? Now, as you can see, it's already mentioned in the question that it is a poisonous snake bite. So we have to proceed keeping in mind that it is a poisonous snake bite. The management of a poisonous snake bite are in two parts. One, the management which can be done at the incident site, the place where the snake bite has taken place. The location, it can be your home, it can be a workplace, it can be field, etc. Anything. How will you manage a snake bite there? The things which should be done are: clean the wound with povidone iodine solution and immobilize the wound without compromising the blood supply. Try to reach the patient to the nearest healthcare facility as soon as possible. Things which should not be done are: do not tie a tourniquet above the bite area. Why? It will compromise the blood supply to the distal part of the limb, causing hypoxia of the cells, ultimately affecting the cells, causing necrosis of the cells. More than that, since the circulation is cut off or reduced due to the tourniquet, the injected venom by the snake bite will not get diluted in the circulation, will be present in the bite area and the surrounding areas in a very high concentration, causing damage to the cells. Ultimate result will be, it might lead to the amputation of the distal part of the limb. After that, you should not take the patient to any ojhas, do not go for any traditional remedies, do not massage the areas or rub the areas, do not suck from the wound, suck the blood out from the wound, no scraping, cutting, biting off from the area of the wound. These should not be done. After that, once the patient is reached to the healthcare facility, what is to be done? When a patient presents to you with a history of snake bite, how will you manage? What are the things which you will do? Things which you should see. When the patient presents to you, the first and the foremost are the things you have to see. Check for whether the patient is stable or not. How will you know that? Check for airway, breathing and circulation. After that, check the vital signs such as blood pressure, pulse, oxygen level, that is SpO2. Start an intravenous line and catheterize the patient. Also monitor the urine output of the patient and check for hematuria. It is one of the most common clinical signs seen in case of a hematotoxic snake bite. A hematotoxic snake bites most frequently, most common, presents with hematuria, that is blood stained urine. After that, you have to give tetanus toxoid intramuscularly 0.5 ml. It can be given in the deltoid region or the anterolateral aspect of your thigh. After that, when you do a IV line, you have to draw certain amount of blood. Why? To do the 20 minutes whole blood clotting test. How it is done? 20 minutes whole blood clotting test, you have to draw 2 to 3 ml of blood in a clean dry test tube and keep it in the standing position aside for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you have to check whether the blood has clotted or not. In case of a hematotoxic snake bite, the patient will have hypofibrinogenemia, which leads to no clotting in the blood, to hematuria. After that, how will you proceed? You will give fluids if the patient is in case of hypovolemic shock due to hematuria or other causes. Start with isotonic saline or NS, and if the patient does not recover from the shock, you can also give 5% albumin. The specific management for a snake bite is polyvalent anti-snake venom. Anti-snake venom is a freeze-dried, heat-stable, polyvalent vaccine. It is effective against 4 species, that is common cobra, common krait, rustled viper, saw-scale viper. Out of which saw-scale and rustled viper, they cause hematotoxic snake bites, and common krait and common cobra lead to neurotoxic snake bites. It is absolutely necessary to give a patient with poisonous snake bite anti-snake venom. The administered dose should be, it can be given as slow intravenous dose or as an intravenous infusion in NS. The dose is 10 vials of polyvalent anti-snake venom can be charged up in a 100 ml NS bottle and given over 30 minutes. After that, the patient is again re-evaluated. If required, the dose can be repeated after 1 hour. Maximum you can give 30 vials of anti-snake venom to a patient. Before giving anti-snake venom, the latest protocols tell that you have to give a pre-medication if there is any allergic reaction to anti-snake venom. There is absolutely no contraindications for anti-snake venom. In case of allergic reactions or to avoid allergic reactions, we treat the patient before giving anti-snake venom with hydrocortisone intravenously as 100 mg dose or chlorpheniramine maleate or adrenaline 0.3 mg intramuscularly. Now, in case of a neurotoxic snake bite, one more thing has to be added. That is, you have to treat the patient with atropine and neostigmine. Atropine as 0.6 mg intravenously and neostigmine as 2 mg intravenously should be given. It can be repeated after 30 minutes over the next 8 hours. The criteria for giving more anti-snake venom when you need to repeat it, they are persistence or recurrence of blood incoagulability after 6 hours of the first dose in case of a hematotoxic snake bite, or in patients who continue to briskly bleed after 1 to 2 hours of first dose of anti-snake venom. This is also a sign of hematotoxic snake bite. Deteriorating neurotoxic or cardiovascular signs after 1 to 2 hours of the first dose of anti-snake venom. In all such cases, you have to repeat the anti-snake venom dose. Now, in this slide or video, I have mentioned a lot of out of the slide details which are not written down in the slide. Those are only to help you to understand the slides and give your best in your therapeutic problems or wherever you face this question. The things which you need to write down are given in the slide. Out of the slide, you don't need to write those things down. Whatever I have mentioned in this video, that is only for your understanding. But whatever information has been noted down in the slide should be learnt, understood and produced in your paper because they are absolutely necessary. You need to write down exactly the way it is mentioned in the slide, in that format, in those points, in the same pattern. This is exactly the way how you have to write it down when a therapeutic problem is presented to you. Not more than this. Whatever is given in the slides is sufficient for a therapeutic problem which you will face in your practical exams. That much is enough. That much should be written, not more than that. Thank you for listening.